Hello, and good day to yous. Welcome back to Disco Elysium. Pardon me for the slightly late start. I've been getting back into some other old games that I never got around to, like Pokemon White 2, which I bought years and years ago at a friend's request after we finished the first installment. And I played like probably 20 minutes of it and then just shelved it. But as for why that stopped the stream, I was trying to catch a Riolu, and it was taking me... I was at it for about an hour before I finally found what I was looking for. Literally the last pull I was doing before I wanted to put the game away and start up Disco. So what are the odds, huh? I guess I can tell you. 5%, followed by 12.5%. Alright, if I recall correctly, we are waiting around to talk with a certain crazy about our gun, which I think we were doing last time, but we actually found enough stuff to keep us busy until 4? Oh, right. The important thing, we found out where little Miss Ruby? Yeah, I think we found out where Ruby is. And we can go do something about her, but I want to go get my gun first. That's going to be another 8 hours. And I'm not sure if there's much I can do besides sit on a bench about that. Let's see, what do we got? I'm gonna have to try to break down that door or find a key. Have to find a firearm. I might be able to get that out of the guy over here who gave me several warnings that I probably shouldn't proceed with this. And I've basically done all the checks that I can right now, unless I want to spend a point. I'm kind of shanghaied. Looks like it's going to be the bench. Yeah, alright. We spent enough time running around here last session and the session before that. Let's slow our roll, find a bench. Go hang out with the local drunks. It was right here, yeah? Yeah, right here. Now, Kim, you're not going to want to sit down, are you? We have important police work to do. Yes, yes we do, but we need a gun for that, and I have to wait until, like, 10 o'clock to do that, so...
The worn and beaten wooden planks of the
Park
bench
it.
do not look overly comforting.
We can sit on benches after we've solved the murder. Let's go.
Fuck you, Kim.
You can revisit the bench if you ever...
Kim, go away.
Yes? Excuse me? Frankly, Detective, you're in a deranged state. I can't let you proceed.
The lieutenant thinks you're some unaccountable wreck who needs constant supervision. But you don't have to listen to him. You're free to disobey.
Except that I do, Detective. Some you time? This is a police investigation. not a journey of self-discovery. You'll still have your evenings to yourself.
Well, like,
You might. It's important not to let one style interfere with their work.
The lieutenant is pretty sure style is just a euphemism for nihilistic binge drinking.
I already gave most of my booze away, all of my safe to consume booze to the local drunks.
Is it not?
Oh shoot, how do I burn time otherwise? Kim won't follow me into the house. Can I take a nap? Get a little more shut-eye?
The bed is comforting, if a bit run down.
Err.
Still, you've earned a rest.
Darn. I think I read somewhere that time doesn't pass. Unless I'm doing something like looking at items in my inventory. Do I have anything I want to interact with?
The face of King Fleecell smiles at comrade. But, so please, if you value our radical Mazovian perspective on contemporary politics, culture, and international affairs, please consider subscribing today. Yours in struggle, the editors. You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of contents unfolds before you. This section, you all... Whoa. Bear wrestling. Flip back to that.
Yeah, okay, we can check out what the wrestling's about now.
It seems to be part of a new public fitness initiative in the People's Republic of Samara, SRV, devised and promoted by none other than President Kanajinsky himself. According to this extremely credulous account, Uncle Sport, as he's affectionately known to his people, has recently decreed bear wrestling the national sport of the SRV.
Why'd they call him Uncle
Based on the
Sport?
description in this article, he appears to be an extremely competent and democratically elected president. Sapormat Sport Kelazinski is well into his third decade as president of the SRV. Outside Samara, he's known for three things: brutal repression of internal dissent, monumental corruption, and a near pathological obsession with physical fitness.
Cool, so we got a gym teacher leading the country.
Don't forget the mustache.
Cool, we got a gym teacher leading the country.
Like all Samaran men above the age of
I guess
40,
from like
President Kelazinski
pre-90s.
wears a truly spectacular walrus mustache.
Just trying to remember my gym teachers now. That one had a mustache. That one had a perpetual 5 o'clock shadow. I don't know if that man could get a clean shave to save his life.
It's quite straightforward. A standard match features one man, or in some cases, woman, against one bear. 2 competitors, 1 ring, 5 rounds, or until incapacitation.
Do they put gloves on the bear so he doesn't maul you?
According to the SRV's Ministry of Information, the program has been a tremendous success. Public support stands at 87%, and youth obesity and alcoholism rates are down 12% and 7% respectively.
Drunk? No, pretty sure that makes it easier, which is why it's only down 7%. But yeah, being out of shape would make it hard.
Much the idea. President Kaczynski has long maintained that a strong body is the best defense against capitalist aggression.
Represented by bears.
The Samaran People's Republic? No, I should expect not. Why do you ask?
Saying it might be fun to partake in a bear fight. Do I look like a man who could fight a bear? No. I also didn't notice that the expression left my face when I made that check earlier. I'm similarly as somber as Kim there.
They're quite the spectacle, as I understand. I've heard they make the people in the front rows wear plastic sheets.
Oh no. Just like SeaWorld.
On account of the blood, you see.
You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of contents unfolds before you. This section includes... Whoa. Bear it. It seems to... According to this extremely... Of course not. The article makes plain that this is man on bear, or in some cases, woman on bear competition. Two competitors, according to the SRV's ministry. Precisely. For too long, drink has been a scourge to the working class, and President Kennedzinski is deeply committed to supplying the people with more wholesome entertainments. The wasteland of reality is an unforgiving place. But if you ever encounter a bear wandering its roads, you're pretty sure you could take it.
The Samaran I suppose that would be something to see.
You're not going to try to stop me, are you?
You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of contents. It takes a moment, but gradually it dawns on you that Kunst und Kultur must mean arts and culture. As you leaf through this section, you come across several reviews of recent radio plays, as well as a brief artist spotlight featuring a local artist identified only as CS. The main feature, though, is a long essay titled Tip Top Tournée, a critical Mazovian perspective.
Nah, looks like I've gone over this already.
You flip back to the front of the magazine. Unsurprisingly, much of this section is taken up with articles declaring unqualified support for the dock workers' strike. You skim the headlines. Paint the harbor red and white. Martinez tames the wild pines. A city in revolt. First we take Martinez, then we take La Delta. Finally, there's a brief article by the writer G. Martin accusing the owner of the Capeside Apartments of illegally attempting to evict certain communist tenants simply for not having paid their rent.
Right, yeah.
The eternal problem, according to G. Martin, is that under capitalism, the worker is rendered incapable of perceiving their own agency or lack thereof. Thus, they tend to experience their own oppression as though it were happening to somebody else. Is that true? Have you felt estranged from your own self recently? You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of contents unfolds before.
What about... Where did I get this book? Dusty Tome brings knowledge on the history of innocences. It is written by one João Paulo Salomão Lopes de Fuego, a Mesque fascist, who tried to reach a conclusion on which of the innocences is the coolest in the world. That's quite the name you have there.
The Greatest Innocence by João Paulo Salomão Lopes de Fuego. The book is large and heavy.
Certainly not the craziest or longest that I can think of, at the very least.
Browsing through the book again, you still have trouble understanding the torrent of
Pretty good
information.
competitor.
Only seems to add to the confused jumble of facts inside your brain. Your educational survey is done. Did you catch any of that? No. Oh well, it's pop quiz time. Let's see what you've learned. This
I can
might
definitely
take
do
a few
better this
minutes.
time.
You ready?
Yeah, I failed this pretty hard last time.
Probably for the best. It wasn't looking too good for you, anyway. An intricate web of blue lines. The pattern still kind of has an ethnic feel to it, but nothing familiar.
Who
Gone.
are you?
For you to discover. Someone who knows about history could tell you.
Someone who knows about history. Do I go talk to the old guys? Renee? Well, that's a lead on that, at least. Handwritten note on the
is
fridge.
written with a blue pencil on a piece of lined office paper. The kitchen magnets have left spots on its surface.
Really? You don't have a single guess? Oh, I'm sure that child would love to get his hands on the filament memory. Even if he doesn't know what to do with it, he'd probably try to pawn it for speed, based on our encounter.
Someone has scribbled, S. I can't believe the off-site copy is still here. The illiterate ginger kid keeps stealing stuff from the studio, so I had to hide it somewhere safe. You'll find the filament memory with the off-site copy in the...
Right. Simple note.
The bullet
Fractured
is
bullet.
still safely sealed away in a plastic bag bearing the RCM stamp. The jacket of the bullet is made of a yellowish metal. You can just about make out...
What can you say about the bullet so far? A jacketed bullet. Okay.
Oh yeah, I inspected
It
that
would
bullet
have
while
been
you were
shot
away.
From a military-grade breech-loading rifle, not from a muzzleloader like those typically found on the streets of Martinez.
Highly unusual. The people of Revachol haven't carried breech-loading weapons like this for nearly half a century.
You mean like this one I found in a reserve?
Even the RCM uses ordinary unjacketed conical bullets. This is strange. Very strange. I like this, officer. Strange means unique. Unique means incriminating. We need to find the gun that shot it.
Something tells you that won't be anytime soon. This'll have to be one of those epic tasks that's open for a while.
Thank you for informing me as such, Inland Empire.
The jacket of the book, it's quite destroyed. Some of the fragments are still lodged in the wound.
What can you say about the bullet so far?
Yes, it's as if you've seen bullets before, officer.
Shut up, bullet.
A jacketed bullet. Okay. It would have been
Highly
even the
Something tells you that won't be anytime soon. The squashed bullet has some sharp edges where the jacket has split open. It feels cold, even through the bag.
I think that's just the air talking.
You wouldn't ordinarily have cause to handle jacketed bullets. The citizens' militia uses cast bullets only. Little pebbles of metal loaded from the muzzle, usually in a cartridge.
What? Well, if I was the bullet, which I'm not, I would say find the weapon that shot me. If we find who owns it, we will have likely found who used it, possibly to kill our victim.
And if not them, then perhaps they know who would have borrowed their gun?
In conclusion, the more we know about this bullet of yours, the better. Okay, and? An antique. That makes sense. There can't be many breech-loading rifles floating around in Martinez, or anywhere in Ravachol, really. I have to hand it to the monarchs. It's quite admirable that they took the advice of criminologists last century and banned the use of breech loaders in peacetime. Some new RCM recruits get impatient with their muzzle loaders once they've trained with military-grade weapons, but they realize it's worth it in the end.
Prohibiting peacetime law enforcement to front-loaded rifles is a policy enforced by the Moralist International in all the nations of the Real Belt.
Imagine if everyone, cops, citizens, had access to firearms that could shoot multiple rounds without pausing to reload. After the first shot, the second, third, and so on come much easier. But back to the investigation. Mysterious. Okay. Either way, we'll know when we find the gun. Okay, what's your best guess? An antique. That makes sense. Sure, there's some new...
Prohibiting peacetime law enforcement to front-loaded rifles is a...
Imagine if... But back to the investigation. Let's find out. Next step, finding the gun itself.
So for that bullet, yes, the yellow man. It me!
It's just a racist mug. What's there to read here? Not much. But it will not happen. The mug talk is exhausted. It is time to return to work. The porter reel is just what you needed. The reels attach to the apparatus with a satisfying click. The tape is rooted behind.
My badge?
A police badge on which you see the photo of a man. You.
Yes,
Sure.
It's the designation of your precinct. 41. Like mine says 57. The 57th is mostly industrial harbor. A lot of asphalt. The 41st is... It's a tough station to work in. You have all of Jamrock to cover. That district should have 3 precincts, but money is what it is.
Understaffed, overworked,
It's no
underappreciated.
wonder you are like you are, he thinks. But then again,
It's a legendary district, and a hell of a station too. It must be an honor and a curse to work with people like Price, McCoy, Berdiaeva.
Roberts, Feuerbach, Dimitri. Suddenly, names from your decomptage flash in your forebrain. He knew all those people, although they're not fully stationed. They must. And you? Is it an honor to work with you? Don't ask him. Ask yourself.
We're the same rank, but I've apparently got seniority because of my, God, what was it called? Double... something.
The badge in your hand shines as you rotate it, catching light. You see lines
Lieutenant
of information on
W.
it,
Freighter.
and a shining watermark. The library card is folded into 2 and still slightly wet to the touch. The front side reads, Central General Public Library Card. Whoever owns this card is an avid reader. You find a list of books written in blue pencil. Radio thriller. Most of these titles seem to be in the sci-fi genre. Some thrillers too. If lost, please return the card to the library. Dial 005 02 55211 or visit us at Moreau Street, 78, Jamrock. Business hours 900 to 1800.
We already decided to let the station handle this case, so there's no need for us to call the light.
Right, I guess that would have been our lead.
6 crumbling petals rest on your palm. They're white, a bell-shaped crown.
This is the Insulindian lily, called Maybells or Lucille's tears during the Revolution. Girls used to pin these on soldiers before sending them off to battle.
This flower is a spring flower, but it's a bit early for that, isn't it?
Yes, but not these early. Not to my knowledge. It looks dried, preserved. Maybe. Maybe not. We'll see. The revolutionaries, so the communers and the anarchists. White's their color, but the custom started in the suzerain's army, so it had meaning for the kingsmen too. It's about girls and boys more than sight. Girls sending off boys who are going to their deaths, then also dying themselves in the ruins from dysentery and consumption. It's a symbol of the Civil War.
Ugh.
A big political and military conflict. Ask around or buy a book.
The petals feel dry and fragile in your hand. Water flows under the channel bridge. Dark water. You rub your sides for warmth, but there is none. Inland, above the Martinez distributary, the channel that brought wastewater from the silk mills of General, and then dead bodies during the war. The wrinkled fingers of an old man crush flower petals, then sprinkle them in the stream like white salt. Wait, have you noticed there's a war veteran playing a ball game on the plaza? You should ask him about the flowers.
I should talk to Renee about a bunch of stuff in my inventory. Like, hey, what you can tell me about this and these and all this?
Crinkled chewing gum wrapper. You feel compelled to point out that there's nothing fruity about cinnamon. Can a used wrapper shrug? Seems like that's what the wrapper is doing somehow. This is not about flowers or bark. What is this about? Why are you looking at this wrapper?
Why do I still have this wrapper? I'm not on that case.
Good question. There is no answer or secret phrase written on the inside of the wrapper. Yet you're drawn to it. Drawn by regret. Stop before you hurt yourself with a tutti frutti wrapper. Throw it away, please. You carefully fold the wrapper into a square before putting it back into your pocket, lovingly even. Despite
The map
the
of
wall map
Martinez.
features the patchwork grid of the streets of Martinez, with directions to appropriately touristy locations. Yet your finger moves through the various streets, across Rue de Saint-Ghislain and Rue Saint-Cypar, over Saint-Brun and Martinez North, finally coming to a halt on the spot where you are currently standing, although the map gives no such indication itself.
For a more detailed view of the map, go.
Ah, yes, in Wirral, if I want to read the rules of a complicated tabletop game. Adapted into a radio something game.
Large letters on the front
Radio transceiver?
form a title. Wirral. The colorful box is illustrated with bucolic vistas. The cover art also features odd-looking humanoids, some short, some taller. Text underneath the title in smaller typeface. With fewer items inside, the box now rattles with less enthusiasm. Only the map and booklet shuffle around, hitting the sides of the box. A blurb on the back reads, "Succumb to a world of high pasternal fantastique. Unleash your imagination and create an adventure of endless possibilities. Discover the terrible secret threatening Wirral. Can your band of adventurers save the world?
Maybe not.
Man up. This is about having structured fun. All you have to do is read an intricate rulebook, study an assortment of maps, unfold the illustrated game board, and start rolling dice. In no time, you could be romping through grasslands with low-level characters, hunted by Iskala riders, or battling unspeakable monsters in endless dungeons fraught with danger and despair, conjuring up forceful magics to aid your quest.
I should see if Zaum actually ever produced Wirral, or whatever they actually called the game. Like if it's open to the public.
Don't forget heated arguments escalate into physical confrontation with your friends.
Ooh, every week, man.
And beer. Lots of beer. And most importantly, never forget to rage quit if the dice don't go your way.
Got a number of items here, including 3 dice now. With no less than 20 sides.
It's the ledger you found in the trash. A cabbage of papers.
Actually, before I inspect that ledger, I do have things I can go do right now. Renee! Please, share with me your knowledge, your secrets, your wisdom with age. And just a slight sousong of racism.
Purity of snow always reminds me of the purity of a man's soul, if he's got principles. I prefer the old name, Insulindian Lily. Girls brought them to young cadets when they entered service. Wearing them on your cap was supposed to bring good luck. It used to be. But the communards were fond of them too. Call them revolutionary flowers. Bells of the revolution. You know what? Now, they brought me misery, false hope, and disappointment. The revolutionaries sullied them.
But it wasn't the revolutionaries that sullied the idea for you, was it? She gave them to me too, and your jealous little heart just couldn't accept it.
Enough! I can go over these matters in detail with you, Gaston. But not while we have company. So, officers.
Maybells don't blossom yet, do they?
Maybe on some remote parts of the city they do. But I think you'll have to wait for at least a month. Unfortunately, I don't. In Martinez, cop is a pejorative term.
He doesn't know about the crime. Your time is better spent discussing politics.
Sure.
I'm confident they are indispensable in regard to all the paperwork and other administrative duties. But you must agree that nature, in her infinite wisdom, has made men more fit to perform certain, more challenging tasks. Don't you, officer?
Our hormones give us a better shot at deadlifting shit? Sure, why not?
No reason to even feel bad about that. It's just the way of the animal kingdom.
How about you? You more useful?
It is such a pleasure to see you again, officer. How may I head the citizens' militia on this fine day?
Don't particularly want to
Sweet
do
Jenny.
this, but...
We knew her, all right. Lived on the same street our entire lives, just 2 houses apart. The 3 of us have been best friends since we were 4. She was René's first girl, back when the prick was 16. They were courting till he decided he'd rather die for some great ideal than just be happy.
And then you stole her from me.
Oh, officer. It already got ugly nearly 80 years ago when the 3 of us were just learning to walk and talk.
You stole her from me.
Well, technically, you stole her from me, because we'd been pretty close ever since you two had that falling out over the ink you spilled over her pretty yellow dress.
We were just boys then. This was different. You... No point starting this all over again. For the 1000th and the first time. Especially when we have company. Officer.
Of
Thanks for
course,
sharing.
officer.
I just got another level. Suppose I could put a point into something and try another check. But apart from that, I think all I can do is just like pour over old dialogue until 10 o'clock comes around. Drama, logic, physical instrument. Oh, I got 2 physical instruments. 2 empathies. And 2 shivers. Okay. Heroic. Heroic. Legendary. Formidable. What was the last one? Shivers, right. Legendary and impossible. Well, these two seem unlikely, so probably either the two hard checks or the one easy check and the one harder check? Or moderate and harder check. Or I could do both. Heroic, heroic. Legendary, formidable. Yeah, I want to level with Tommy. What's going on with you? Empathy. And physical instrument, because I'll probably end up doing that one afterwards too. Not a lot, it seems. Tommy! Tommy! Oh, what's going on here? Stop, between those trucks down there. Smokes. Oh, there's a set of smokes on the ground there.
Still here, stuck in this damn jam, my man. What's up?
What do I see? What sort of tale can this man's eyes share with me?
In his eyes, an unfamiliar longing, flecks of brown and gold. It's hard to say. His gaze wanders southwest, down the street that goes beyond the horizon. The road continues for miles, flowing together with other roads, turning into causeways or bridges, ending suddenly in dead ends, or ramping up or down highways. It forms a crisscross pattern across the land. Above the Jamrock Quarter, in the form of a raised motorway, and then the never-ending sprawl of Forburg, high above buildings, new and old, the air filled with the rumble of motor engines. To the old south, to the farthest outskirts of Revachol, through the checkered fields of farmland, upstream to the river Esperance, past Montmartin, the border approaches.
Further.
You cannot see. It's out of the city. Up ahead, the mist blocks all sight. A gale blows across your cheeks. It is cold. Before you stands a tall lorry driver with sad eyes.
Excuse me?
A flinch jolts his frame. The question has touched a nerve.
Man, I don't know what to say. Not much anyone can do. There's no helping in absence, you know. I miss my family. They're all I have. My wife, second kid on the way, waiting all the way in Diora. And here I am stuck in this shit, so far from home. Diora of the Seven Seas. It's on the other end of Le Caillou, pretty much, on another island called Laurentide, off mainland. We've got a little place there. Can almost hear my kid laugh when it snows. What's it like? Good. And bad. An ache that brings you joy. I think of them a lot. I dream up these silly scenarios in great detail of living with them. It comforts me.
I'd call that melancholy, but there are a lot of people who say that's just a very deep sorrow.
What about you, Copman? You missing someone?
Is that what it is? This feeling? No, it's scarier than that. You're pursued by a hunter, smelling of apricots and sorrow, and the past.
Is that why I'm holding on to the gum wrapper? I miss my gun.
Hunted? By what? An ex-wife?
Ah!
The pain burns in your chest, radiating. The crown of arteries on fire.
Still, a shadowy figure. That sounds pretty bad. I hope that doesn't happen in my marriage.
Good luck with you, pal.
For some reason, sire, he pays no heed to your objection, continuing instead as if it were your ex-wife. Strange.
Sure, man, if you say so. But look, man, thanks for this. It's good to talk to someone. I know it wasn't easy to ask, so I hope.
Got some experience out of it. Ah! Ah, my heart. Oh, it hurts. Who else did I have to talk to? Right, she's gone. Well, I know what's not going away. Physical instrument. Up we go. Ice cream man. Wait, what's going on? Oh, just more smokes.
This orange machine is dead still. It has a hand-cranked ice
Yeah,
cream chiller
wow.
and an electric freezer. The ice around it slowly melting.
So I've got a 5, which is increased to a 8, but reduced to a negative 12. Oh boy. Well, here's hoping.
The ice squeaks
Nope,
beneath
not a
the
double
bottom.
6.
You see the
Yeah, well, that's... I have no idea, officer. These ice cream makers...
sooner or later you will stumble upon a tool mighty enough. Then we will know what's in this mysterious.
And the barred door. At least we did get one more check out of doing all this stuff. Maybe 2, if I'm lucky. I won't be, but can always have hope.
The same small, heavy door. No lock in sight.
Ow, my toe!
You give it another, more ferocious kick. The door still does not move.
Demolish the place.
I don't see how this is going to give new results. There must be another way in there. Through the kitchen door, perhaps. Let's explore rather than destroy.
But I can't open that door. I don't have key. I should also go to the convenience store and purchase some more health drugs. I'm pretty low. And if I'm gonna have 2 altercations today with a gun, then yeah, it might be in my best interest to go do something about that.
You see a heavy steel door with a prominent dimpled lock. The cobalt blue's old cobalt. The door does not.
Hey guy, door? I know you don't speak any English.
The man ponders his cooking utensils and gives you a little. He looks up at shrugging is an international sign for.
Well, guess I go get some health and then just waste time.
Is this about the questions again? Because I don't really know anything.
A colorful
Again, I'm obliged to inform you that both alcohol and cigarettes damage your health. The Pale Age vodka is special, I guess. It's stored in pale for a couple of years, which makes it super expensive and super strong.
Oof.
I mean, I already said it'd hurt you. I don't know what else they do.
Substances give powerful bonuses to your main stats at the cost of damage to your health or morale. Cigarettes raise your intellect while damaging your health. Alcohol raises physique while damaging your morale.
But I don't gain any benefit from those things because I've got a thought in place?
Use medication, like Nosifed and magnesium, to counteract the negative effects of substances. Note: consuming substances can have unforeseen consequences for you.
A small cabinet on the wall is filled with various medicine bottles, nasal sprays, and blister packs. They all bear the Saint Baptiste Pharmaceutics logo.
I could use a Dramine.
Okay, here. I hope Saint Baptiste makes you feel better or something.
And an Nosifad.
Okay, here. I hope Saint Baptiste makes you feel better or something.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I don't gain any benefit out of drugs, right? Just alcohol. So even if this the liquid death juice did anything positive, it certainly doesn't anymore. Alright, back down to the fish market? The old fish market. Which I'm pretty sure is that abandoned area on the docks. And then just go kill some time. I feel like I'm gonna need suggestion to get that gun out of their hand. That's unfortunate. Okay, well, I need to take a short break before we continue with wasting time, so be right back. Go grab a drink or snack or go to the washroom. You know, do your thing. I am returned. And now for the fun task of
It's the legend you found in the trash.
reading shit
A
until
cabbage
I
of papers hanging from the board.
pass enough
With the
time.
permeables drawer inside. It's barely held together by a
Read a
clip.
case
It
file.
takes about half an hour to piece one together, using the system you've
Ba-ba-ba.
devised. Which one do you want?
Which one of these actually sounded kind of interesting to go through? I solved this case in the course of reading it. People with square holes in their heads, I think. This is just a bunch of kids who were moving a couch around. Oh wait, no, the murder at the hookah parlor was the unsolvable case. So what was the unsolvable
AKA
case?
Leslie and Burke, AKA the public indecency drunk and the property damage drunk, is a cursed case. It has been passed from unsuspecting officer to unsuspecting officer for 10 years.
Right.
You were so drunk you didn't remember what it was when you signed on. That, or you were high. Leslie will always take his pants off when he's drunk. Burke will always trash everything. It's just what they do. It is their nature. You cannot change the nature of a man, and you can't lock them away because public indecency and small-scale property damage are not punishable by incarceration. The only way for Leslie to stop displaying his genitals and for Burke to stop attacking things would be for them to stop drinking alcohol, which in their 40s or 50s, it's hard to tell because of their distorted features, is a medical improbability. You would think that, but you're wrong. Where's the fun in exposing your genitals or breaking stuff in your own home? No, Leslie and Burke are on the corner of Main Street and Perdition.
I mean, it's
because
still
that's
fun,
where
just
action is.
without that added thrill of exposure.
Threatening, fines, dragging them to the station, locking them up in the hellholes they live in.
Oh wow, that
locking them
killed a
up in
lot
the
of time.
station, hypnotherapy, even trying to get the local gang of Zemyaki to take them out. The Zemyaki gave them ethanol, so Burke and Leslie would expose and rampage even harder. You tried it all, and still the complaints wouldn't stop, as they hadn't stopped for 10 years. It's plain to see from the files that you, Satellite Officer JV, and Special Consultant TH, had more important cases to attend to. You uncover cross-reference to several ongoing investigations, each brought to a standstill every time you drive down Main Street. Because there they are, on the corner of Perdition. And what is Leslie doing?
Yeah, correct answer to this one.
Good, you're learning. If the he must have it confused with the property he likes to damage. But the joke's on him. You're drunk out of your mind on potent Pilsner. In the process, the ledger sustains damage. The compartment within, reserved for permeable documents, is jammed shut. You stop your assault on the now unconscious Burke to open it, but are unable to do so. The officer began to cry, reports Leslie. Kill them. They broke it.
Beat a guy half to death with my clipboard. You broke it, you bastard!
He came at us, and at us. I think he was trying to kill Burko. While trying to kill Burko, you slowly come around. The permeables compartment is open. Can't get out of his apartment, an invalid. With Burke to tend to, Leslie cuts back on the indecent exposure. Maybe he flashes his genitals to Burke. Who knows? But both drunks are off the street. The complaints stop. The unsolvable case is solved.
If you let me flash you, you can break my balls. It's a win-win.
Which is also why the officer responsible narrowly escapes a disciplinary hearing. The end. Do you want to read another one?
Yes, I've still got like 3 hours to kill. What was up the mural?
This one is relatively easy to reconstruct. Overnight on 1202, a graffito, nay, a mural, appears on an 8-story tenement overlooking central town. The building
Yes,
is a
the
sparsely
question of
inhabited ghost town,
whether it's
part
worth
of a
removing the
failed
mural
real
or
estate
not.
development called Grand Coudon. Cause of failure, rent too high. The mural is enormous. 2 silhouettes, a man and a woman, are kissing. The text cut into their form reads, "True love is possible only in the next world. For new people, it is too late for us. Wreak havoc on the middle class." People call it that thing and that fucking thing. It's visible for miles. In 2 days, the station's complaints desk gets clogged with requests to remove the bummer. You and your partner are assigned to the case. The graffito crew is easy to track down. Only the bell lectures have the literage of industrial paint to cover the surface. One of the graffito artists is rumored to be rich. They take responsibility for the execution, but not the design. The ideologue of the next world mural, as the crew calls it, remains an unknown. The case files do not show you finding the author of the design.
Oh, that's a shame. Not that it really matters. The person who ended up executing it on such a large scale is responsible.
The crew agrees to clean up after
Unless they were
themselves.
complicit
However,
in the
your partner, JV
act.
is against the removal, citing public support for conservation. This leads to a debate in Precinct 41 which then spreads to the streets of Jamrock, ending in a rare plebiscite organized by you and the rest of Row 3.
And how did that turn out?
The 9,000 people subjected to the mural's message, all of Lakeside, Central Jamrock, and Villalobos, plus half of the eminent domain, participate in the vote. Although the case begins with what appears to be a lot of rambling on the streets as to how juvenile and stupid the mural is, given a choice between two options.
I said keep the mural the first time. How do I feel about it now? True love is possible, only in the next world. For new people, it is too late for us. Wreak havoc on the middle class. Remove the mural, but more importantly, remove the high-cost housing and create some affordable apartment buildings.
A staggering 78% of voters choose to keep it. Turns out the opposition were a loud minority. And that love truly is possible in the next world for new people. And it is too late for us. Did anyone ask you what you believe in, man with the smelly toilet ledger? What do you want to tackle next? Or are we done?
God, so mean. The square bullet.
It would be very interesting to read about these, wouldn't it? I mean, there seems to be a square-shaped entry wound in the victim's forehead. She's been sitting there for weeks, on her rocking chair, with a square hole in her skull, staring at the wall, her mouth agape.
But
That's all you got. From the half hour you spent piecing it together, all you know is the entry wound was square-shaped. You never found the bullet. And then another body showed up, also with a square hole in his forehead. Toxicology showed the entry wound was laced with an incredibly potent psychoactive substance called HUV4 nil. No street name. Who knows? Those pages are missing. What next?
I mean, if both people died under certain similar circumstances with the same drug found on their hole, it's a pretty safe bet.
Don't worry. One day you may still catch the man with the square gun.
He was from the 2D dimension. Still need another 2 hours. I think there was something I didn't follow up on
assholes
here.
brought their couch outside and hung out on it. In the middle of the street, on the roof, on the hillside by the motorway. You know, at an unexpected location. They were young, and they thought they looked cool on it.
Models can get away with looking like anything. No one particularly looks like a model. Bunch of raggedy teens sitting on a couch in urban environments with the right filter. Yeah, rock band.
Yes, as you said here, insufferable rock and roll assholes. Young people
Also,
are the
yes,
worst.
still assholes.
So anyway, you got a complaint about the damn sofa, or couch, or whatever it was. They were leaving it out in all these unexpected and whimsical locations. They took it to where they also took photos of themselves on it, and smoked cigarettes, and drank coffee because they felt it's intellectual. Cigarette butts, coffee cups, stupid couch. You had to clean it all up, and you did. So congratulations to you. Case solved.
No one found to be responsible.
No, you didn't have time for that. These notes show that you have what is called a real goddamn job. You don't have time to be chasing down the couch assholes.
Tired of playing
You have a
janitor
real job to
and,
do. What next?
guess I probably would have just taken that to a dump or something. Another hour yet. Sure. Let's go over the stupidity of the hookah again.
Murder. Tum 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 at the Hookah Parlor was a case originally assigned to an officer called Joseph Mills, who is now dead, of circumstances completely unconnected to murder at the Hookah Parlor. Beaten to death by a throng of Villalobos gang members when him and his partner J.M., only initials mentioned, answered a call one night. It's a sad story, and it isn't really represented in your case files. Stop stalling and get to the murder at the Hookah Parlor. Joseph Mills was on this case that he just couldn't solve, was doing it solo, said it was a real nutcracker, a real brain twister, was on it for, like, a month. The captain got impatient. Shit or get off the pot, Mills. Mills didn't get off the pot. Not yet. He kept at it for a couple of weeks more, racking his brains, running with every theory, as outlandish as they seemed. Still couldn't solve the murder at the Hookah Parlor. Tough case, he said. Toughest he's ever had.
Good cop. Not a smart cop, though.
No, he was awful. Awful sense of humor, too. The worst jokes you've ever heard. Really rapey.
Oh.
Still, he'd been on it for months now. Said it was the final case. Said it was uncrackable. That murderer vanished into thin air. That goddamn hookah parlor was all he talked about.
How do people of such incompetence get into positions of power?
Okay, so the case is handed.
It's like the only thing they're good at is brown-nosing.
And you look into it. Here's the setup.
And taking credit.
A young man is found dead in a hookah parlor. You know, those places where you go and smoke bubblegum-flavored vapor all day. No, it's soot and water vapor. It doesn't do anything. Yeah, so anyway, young man in his 20s found with his skull busted open, right on the floor of the hookah parlor, in the middle of the day. No one else is in there, only client that day. In perfect health, too. Some kind of movie producer. No one enters, no one exits. He's just sucking on his watermelon hookah all morning, all noon, like he usually does. He's a regular. No calls, nothing. Just sucking on the hookah until 15:45. Then bam, he's dead on the floor with his skull busted open, blood everywhere. What happened? How can it be? Mills has no idea. Invisible assassin. Movie deal gone sour. Girl at the counter did it. Nothing fits. Eerie. Man just dropped dead. So you go to the parlor. You see cushions around the table. Tables low, heavy, really sharp edge. See? You can't even read the thing without solving it. Yeah, it was that. Turns out hookah does do something. It turns off your brain's oxygen supply, and you don't notice it until you get up to go to the bathroom. Yeah, he liked his hookah. Stephen was his name. Smoking hookah. Didn't you hear? I don't know. Trying to come up with a movie script, maybe.
Almost there. 9 more minutes. If I solve another one of these, I might not have enough time to do anything else later today.
And about 30 minutes has passed, piecing it together. Next. Not much has changed in the meanwhile. A bunch of the acidic stench of rotting, you know, like the bits they put into public piss bowls, probably called Fermi Discrete, or Axel, or something. At some point in its journey, the ledger has seen the inside of a public toilet.
Disgusting.
Your nose does not understand what it did wrong.
Oh. Oh, now I feel bad. I just told you what I knows.
It's made of dark blue plastic, hard enough to beat someone to submission with. The edges are rounded, however. Something rattles inside, ever so lightly, and something small inside. Light, made of paper or cardboard. The plastic shimmers like lapis lazuli, but it is not see-through. With your hands,
Does that not kill time? No, it did. I needed to go through 9 minutes. That went through 1. It's like I don't want to read a whole damn case file.
The greatest innocence. Browsing through your educational survey is done. Did you probably for the...
There we go. That'll do it. Okay, it is now time. Where is this mystery person? Not here. So this isn't the old fish market then. Oh, and I have more stuff I can use for that backyard wall. Huh. Fish, 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 fish. I presume it would be on this side of the river. I guess not. Where is the fish market? Guys have cleared out. Ooh, those guys have cleared out for the day. Is Metalhead gone? No, that guy never leaves. It's not you, is it?
The woman still has her eyes fixed. No response.
Is that some recycling there? It is not. At least not anything I can pick up. Where the heck is the fish market? Near the church, okay. Damn, I was so close.
just an ordinary wall. Nothing to see here.
I'll save it for later. I got bigger fish to fry. That wall will still be there well, no, that was a long time ago. That wall will still be there tomorrow. Oh wow, I didn't even notice you were still sitting there. So, Doc lady, how long are you gonna be washing rags? Okay, so the church is like just up here or something. No, that's totally the place. They just weren't frickin' there before. Alright, well. What the hell is going on here?
Put your hands where I can see them. Show me your hands. This is the pace. Show me your hands. Right now! Show me your hands! Right now!
Scavenged, battery-powered police lights protrude from her back. The flickering light show reveals a gun in her shaking hand. Her hand is trembling from some sort of neurodegenerative disease.
Madame, please drop the firearm immediately.
You shouldn't be here. Something's very wrong with her. She's completely out of control.
Failure to comply. Suspect is displaying aggression. Officer, under duress! Officer, under duress!
Her eyes bulge with terror. Veins protrude on her forehead.
I am the police. Don't move. Don't move. Hands on your head. Suspect is armed and dangerous. Lateral vascular neck restraint. Carotid sleeper. Carotid sleeper. Critically reducing blood from passing through the neck of the suspect.
Be careful, detective. Don't do anything that might set her off.
You have to go for the gun sooner or later. Perhaps you can learn crucial facts before you do.
It's a goddamn police shitbag. Hug the pavement. You're under arrest.
As she waves her hands, you notice familiar-looking ampoules and packets sticking out of the mountain of police gear on her back. Medicine or drugs?
Why not both?
Magnesium, Duramine, maybe even speed. My God, she has speed on her. What else?
Officer in need of assistance. Suspect alert. Get on the ground.
What is she talking into that's giving her that effect?
Ma'am, please. We want to help you, but you need to lower that weapon.
Disturbance reported. Authorized deadly force. Sector, take the shot. Big red key. Big red key.
Big red key.
Big red key. That's code for the battering ram. Cop talk. You know this.
Yeah, that big red key will get you through any door, I suppose.
What happened to make her like this? Yes, sure, but also in a less abstract way. The neurodegenerative disease I mentioned earlier.
Mm-hmm.
The woman looks at you, but through you. eyes gleam feverishly, and the rotating police beacon lights reveal deep scratch marks on her cheeks.
This is the police! Unlawful engagement! Hands on the ground! Scumbag!
So this is what the weather's like on the other end of a cop's gun.
Fascinating. See? This is what happens when we are not around.
Back up! Back up! Back up! Status unconfirmed!
Lieutenant W. Frater, Harry Dubois.
No! No! I thought Mr. Moran. Gareth! Aggravated assault! Man down! Officers in pursuit!
What's the situation, officer?
Law enforcement compromised! Impersonating a police officer!
Does she not believe you two are actually police officers?
And this is when I... You're right, I'm not a police officer. I'm getting on the ground now, sir. Ma'am. Pig.
License and registration! License and registration! Come in dispatch! Sector! Sector! Azima!
Okay, so it's the megaphone that's doing that effect, and then it's just not being... The volume's not being increased for my benefit. That's fine, then.
It's not a code, just disjointed words. She's losing it. One twitch and there would be blood.
Confiscated contraband! Restricted access! 2 kilos missing! Eyewitness report compromised!
I don't think she's on drugs. Being off drugs might actually be the problem here.
Yeah, let's deal with this after I've put on...
Civilian is pointing firearm at us. Your firearm. You need to solve this. Officer, there is no way I'm leaving it like this.
Confirmed orders! Assailant coming at me! Split-second decision! Fire at will!
Oh, is she gonna shoot now?
For a moment there,
I was 80% sure the gun is empty, and still the instinct almost took over.
What is this? This isn't police issue. Police weapons have bullets. This isn't real. Police guns always have bullets. What is this? Why did you sell me this?
She looks devastated.
Damn. Could have made a mad dash for the gun
Grab the gun
for nothing.
right now. This might be your only chance.
No one ever
Oh, I have it back. Do I have any spare rounds?
treat me like this.
Great gears are grinding to a halt. The machine is powering down. She's all out of jolt.
oh, we need to figure out what to do with her now.
Nobody's ever around. Nobody ever comes to visit me.
She's in a stupor. I've seen this before. God knows for how long. Could be days when they get like this. Honestly, I don't know. Dementia, probably. Dementia and Channel 8, and loneliness. Could be. Her hands were trembling, and she did seem uncoordinated. But what are we gonna do with her?
Her scratched skin is warm to the touch, but the person inside doesn't even know you're there.
I don't think there's any need for that. In her current state, and without the gun, she isn't really a threat to anyone. We could let Titus know. This is a perfect problem for the local peacekeepers to handle. They might even know her family. Then we can ask him once we get back to the whirling. But we have to hurry, because it's late, and they might have already gone home. But I think we're done here for now. Let's head out. This is done.
Please, leave the radio on.
She stands motionless, just a heap of clothes and fleshes now. Maybe if you search her once more.
Ma'am?
The woman stands slumped. She looks catatonic under her mountain of RCM paraphernalia. Is one of those things a police cap? There were narcotics in there too. You're thinking of taking them? Do.
Why is there just no confiscate the narcotics without a suggestive wink?
The old woman doesn't react to your touch. She doesn't even flinch as you reach out and disentangle the familiar-looking lieutenant's cap from her mountain of RCM paraphernalia.
Oh, is that yours?
It's hard to say. It's been so long since you wore yours.
It's your hat.
It's my hat. There are enough narcotics around, and whatever she has in there might be something she needs. I'll let the Hardy Boys take care of the rest of that. I have my gun! Oh! And a hat that currently kind of makes me look like a leather daddy. Let's just put that back on. Or maybe just put on some more respectable clothing. Like, that. And... this? What other jackets did I have access to? Yeah, okay, that's better. I don't know. I think this hat probably would have looked a lot better if I still had my stash. I might have made some mistakes getting rid of the expression and the fuzz. Well, cool. I finally got back my important pieces of police gear. I can identify myself, and I can resist anyone who would get in the way of our authority. Instead of just having to hide behind Kim every time. Kim, pull out your gun! Oh, God, shoot him! Shoot him! Oh, I just noticed that this jacket is the same as Kim's. We've both got the, yeah, the white square. Mine just is just like a different style, I guess. Hey, boys.
The Copper-nado is back. What do you want? What's that, Copper? You want us to help little old ladies now?
Kind of part of your jurisdiction, sure.
You're local law enforcement, aren't you? Helping troubled civilians should fall under your jurisdiction.
Yeah. We'll send someone out. Who is? Wait. It's the pigs, isn't it? God. Poor lady. Don't worry. We'll handle this. I think she got some family in Kuron or something. Bastards left her alone when she got sick. We've been getting complaints.
Hey, wasn't Everett's B team looking for her the other day? They said something about her, I don't know, finding something?
Yeah, I think you're right, Gene. She have something of yours, Pig.
Whatever you do, do not admit to these punks you lost your gun. You will suffer if you do.
No? Well, whatever then, Copper.
No. They totally said what it was. What was it? Anyone remember?
I don't remember. I was fucking drunk.
Let me know if you figure it out back there. Now, anything else we can help you with?
Sure, who is she?
Auntie LaPlante, we always called her. Something LaPlante.
Marianne, amigo.
Anything else you wanted to know? Was, like before, just an old lady. Her kids moved away years ago. Never come to visit. Never took her calls. She gets out every now and then. She did right by lots of us when we were kids. Always was a little off, but still.
So is everybody in this godforsaken town.
Us kids. That must have been ages ago. She was better then. The children kept her together.
Get wanted to be a cop, you mean? Well, shit. I don't actually know. Anyone know why she started acting like a pig?
No fucking clue. It's gotta be the crazy. Who'd want to be a pig? No, I didn't. Because I'm not fucking stupid, Polizonte.
Yeah, Carl. That's some pretty fucking weird shit to say. The pigs level weird. But whatever gets you through the day.
Where'd you get all that crap?
Dunno. She lives by the water. Shit washes up all the time on the beach.
Oh, she probably raided my vehicle after I crashed it.
Police paraphernalia doesn't just wash up on the coast, people. It's not like we dump it at night. She bought it, collected it.
That is more likely, but...
Station 41. A man carries a crate of rusted, unused badges. You think these would net us something at the annual auction? A balding detective drags a comb futilely across his head. Shit, who'd want those? Just dump them into the river.
No problem, old cop man.
Mess around with what they say and then sell them in a memorabilia shop to children.
Sure enough, we're the real heroes on these streets.
All right, that took less than half an hour. Let's or less than an hour. Let's go arrest Ruby. Hopefully that's who's waiting there for me. Now that I have my gun. Oh, but do I have bullets? Still there. Still waiting. Still cleaning. Keep going, keep going. There we are. Gun and a flashlight.
Holding the gun feels natural and satisfying. It's like an extension of your arm, the polished wooden handle almost fusing into your palm. It reminds you of the day you first held it, with fear and respect, hoping you don't have to use it in vain. The sun was out in Jamrock. It was so long ago. The gun, your gun, can be an item of destruction, but also creation. The Villiers-la-Salle art project. Time to shoot some beauty through the heart of Martinez.
Alrighty. Confrontation incoming. What does? Ooh, what's this? Money. More money.
Suddenly, your entire body is paralyzed. Aggressive white noise fills your skull. A strange pain, like you've never felt before. Through the static, you hear a woman's voice. It's like 1,000 radio stations are being blasted into your head all at once. But her words are the only ones you can make out.
I know you're feeling pretty uncomfortable right now. Don't move too much or fight it. That'll just make it worse. Can't say it's a pleasure, officer. I was really hoping not to make your acquaintance. But here we are.
As she says the word officer, you feel a spike in the agony. It sounds like the entire radio frequency range is screaming directly into your neural pathways.
I've tried doing crap like this before. If I don't cover them, I think I'm just voluntarily taking damage.
No, buddy. That's not going to help. You can't shield yourself from this. It's an entirely new type of experience. Way worse than all the previous ones.
Really glad I went to the store and bought some healing items.
Don't focus on the pain. Focus on doing your job. Tell her she's under arrest.
Really now? Check this out.
Oh no.
You're overwhelmed with a new surge of violent static. It feels like a blood vessel exploded in your brain.
I'm using a pale latitude compressor. You and your partner have been caught in its field. Wow, check out the big brains on you. You're not entirely wrong.
Right behind you, officer.
A pale latitude compressor is used to sort of make the pale more manageable. With a lot of these, you can force a radio signal grid on the pale, literally crunch the distance across it. Signals are relayed across a series of repeater stations fixed to buoys. Not a fun job manning those stations. All alone out there in the pale, people lose their minds in just a few years.
So, what we are experiencing is a concentration of radio waves.
Precisely. This is an industrial strength paraboloid. It's meant for forcing dimensions on something that doesn't have them. Needless to say, the frequencies used are out of this world.
Is this something similar to what Mega Rich Lightbending guy has?
At the upper limit is the large prime number generator station. It's used specifically for pale latitude compression. That's why you may be hearing some numbers. But you might also hear, or think you're hearing, local radio chatter.
Cue local radio chatter.
She likes telling you about the machine. Keep her talking. Look for an opportunity to break loose.
I built it myself.
That's illegal. I'm guessing it's patented. But we are beyond that, aren't we?
Oh yeah. Way beyond. Yeah, I stuck my head in there before using it on you. It seemed like the ethical thing to do. Can't say that I enjoyed it. The field was weaker, but I can imagine what you're going through. No. Once I shut down the compressor, the pain will end. It may take a few minutes for you to steady yourself, though. It's a bit like waking out of a very confusing dream.
Oh, God.
Yeah, let's not talk about that shit. You were hunting me and fell into my trap instead. That's all there is to say about it.
So she thinks of you as hunters, not cops, and of herself merely as prey.
If you've got something really important to say, you can do it through the white noise.
Yeah, we've been having a rather casual conversation this entire time.
God damn it. Fine. If you really want to talk, I can dial it down. I've also got a gun, by the way.
The gun she's carrying is a two-barreled front loader, not like the murder weapon. Well, it doesn't feel much better, but she can form sentences now. Thinking doesn't seem to hurt as much.
I heard you in the passages, and I've been preparing for quite a while. So, you found my shack, huh? I'm not surprised.
Her tone is bitter. She thinks she's been betrayed.
So nice. That's one knife I didn't want to find in my back.
Yeah, she's a nice old lady.
As opposed to the other knives she's finding there now. hardy for one.
I was. Before I caught you in the pale latitude compressor. I'm fine now.
That's her admitting the bullet was an emergency exit.
No, I didn't do it. I only helped stage the lynching, though I doubt that makes much of a difference to you. Who ratted me out, by the way? Was it Titus? No, he wouldn't have broken first. Oh, I knew the kitten had claws, but not like this. But she couldn't have known I was on the coast. How did you find me? Oh, fuck. Took some convincing my ass. Those guys liked me, I know it. This is what happens to people whom people like.
A dull despair is creeping into her voice.
How the fuck do the rest of you get by? Like what? I already told you I didn't do it.
A strong moral compass. She still wants the opportunity to make a case for herself.
And?
Fuck, no, it was the wrong one.
Sure don't.
A breach loader?
No.
This is such a wipeout.
The gun store. Trigger Happy Jacks. What did you think? That I'm going to squeal on my gun supplier? Sorry, I'm not that kind of gal. Yeah, evidence. Man, I was with the boys the whole night. I hope they at least bothered to impress that upon me. You mean the length of a toilet break? That wouldn't even have been enough time.
No one takes a 15-minute leak.
Look, fuck you, man. I might also have stopped by the bar. I didn't like him. Hardened mercenaries aren't particularly likable types. Yeah, sure. And I didn't like Wild Pines sending in those foreign hirelings. Me and a fuck ton of other people around here.
She didn't hate him, okay?
Plenty of broken people who don't come with that kind of body count. Besides, they're paid well for what they do. I'm listening. No. Gifts of flowers and candy aren't really my style. So now I'm leaving revolutionary symbols around? Come on. I never did understand why, when someone dies, a hothouse's worth of flowers has to die too. No, I did not. Yeah? Where?
Who did?
How should I know? As I keep saying, he already had a bullet in his head when I got to him, and there hasn't been any useful gossip over the radio.
Those rings around her eyes. Her tired voice. She's been staying up late, listening in on the conversations crisscrossing Martinez.
Oh, so she may have heard me.
Police radio? You've been following the case?
Who hasn't? You know, I can still see him there, in Claus's room, lying on his side. He was still warm, but the bluish light coming through the broken window made him look as though he'd been dead for a good long while. I saw you roll into town. I wasn't about to stick around for questioning by a goddamn La Puta Madre agent.
So this is what she was scared to tell Titus. This cop. That strange, distant fear is getting close now. It's a fear of yourself.
Yes, you. Everyone says you're his peon, his human can opener.
Ooh.
Through the sudden sharp pain in your head.
Why is that physical? Why can't it be mental? I've got so much mental health. Hurt my mind, not my body, please.
Fucking hell. And why me? You hear through the noise. It's especially bad suddenly. Felt like a vein exploded.
Everyone in Jamrock, the cops, the criminals. Why do you think I'm holed up in here with a goddamn death ray waiting for you? Right. Sure. You don't know. Yeah, sure.
She doesn't believe you.
Yeah, it's pretty
I'm
unbelievable.
Sure La Puta Madre himself will explain it all to you soon enough. Yeah, other questions.
She eyes you warily, as though gauging your sincerity.
It's okay. We just want to...
All right, don't kill yourself over it. I was shooting the shit with Hardy and the boys over a few beers, like always. Then Klasha comes in, all pale and shuddering. She sits down with a drink, trying to steady her nerves. So I grab a seat next to her. No, I really didn't. She's not that easy to read. I just assumed she'd done too much blow. It wouldn't be a first for her. But no such luck. She was in some deep shit. She asked me to come upstairs. The merc she'd been going with was lying on the bedroom floor, dead. I knew she couldn't get the authorities involved, so yeah.
You made it look like he'd been hanged.
What? No. Faking a lynching was her idea.
She looks shaken. She wasn't surprised to be ratted out, but framed.
Yeah, in cold blood. It really surprised me how quickly she was able to get a hold of herself once we got up there. It was like she was another person. The party girl was gone. She asked me to help her drag him into the shower so she could wind the shower head around his neck. To fake lividity. Then she dressed him while I went to get the Hardy boys.
Glacia knew exactly what she was doing. You can't remain calm under pressure otherwise.
Yeah. I wasn't sure whether to admire her or be disturbed. And potentially bring attention to herself? No. Besides, the shot was made from a distance. Otherwise, we would have heard it downstairs.
She's right. No one mentioned hearing shot. The shot didn't come from the roof.
We should have factored this in. Damn it.
But even if this is true, weren't you worried this lynching might lead to...
War? The thought crossed my mind. But the mercenary's death was...
Kim seems to be mellowing out a little bit, getting used to the static.
Fuck it. I'm not responsible for these people after what they did to me.
I wonder what happens if I fail. Do I just die? Failed the check, but I got healed from it.
violet-white noise becomes even more overwhelming closer to the compressor. Feels like your brain is swelling up in your skull.
Have an apocalyptic vision.
Officer, are you okay?
Ah!
The pain intensifies as your hands attempt to reach out into the pale chaos.
What are you doing? I told you it's best not to move.
855-269-1837. Special someone.
Look, I know this isn't very fun for you, so let's wrap this up. You have a tribunal to attend.
She knows about the tribunal.
Tribunal is an awfully fancy word for what they're going to do. But yeah, I was listening to their frequency. They've finished their investigation. Now they're gonna put on a show before meting out punishment. Even though those assholes gave me up, I'm worried for the boys. And you, watch out for yourselves. You seem to have a habit of walking into traps. I'm asking myself that right now, too. Anyway, I'm guessing you don't know that a third mercenary has come to town just in time for the tribunal. Now you do.
Weren't there 3 in the first place? One got killed and he had 2 buds.
3 mercenaries, no doubt armed to the teeth, hungry for vengeance. You've only got muzzle loaders. This isn't looking good.
A third. Ah, this is bad.
As I said, watch out.
The pain is becoming unbearable now.
Glad to have been of assistance. Best of luck to you, officers. Revishal's a bitch.
The woman runs past you and disappears into the darkness of the tunnel.
And we pass out. Oh.
All things considered, it could have gone worse. No, I don't think she did it. She's someone else's case now. Now we have to come up with a really good excuse for why we walked right into a trap like that. This isn't going to look good in the report.
I mean, how are we supposed to expect something like this?
Her dad. Maybe there's something in there.
Tremble. The time is now. Ta'ola. Time for the show. For Ta'ola. The hallowed time of fear and disintegration. A countdown has begun. All will collapse on itself. The world will disappear into a single grain of blackness. All sound will be muted. All life will scream.
What's Ta'ola?
Ulogu Theodos. Xeno Zausin. Ipoli Osithian. Echondes Fronisin.
Yeah.
Time for the show. For Ta'ola. The hallowed time of fear and disintegration. A countdown has begun. Monday morning. The moment you arrived in this reality are the first crack in the sheer face of God. From you it will spread. Yes, you spoke the words of the Palindropos and the houses of Pericarnassus. Items, people, even words will tumble. All will lose its meaning in the coming years. That is why you marked yourself. It's totally also a coping mechanism. So you should be. The world island crumbles at your feet, and in the far plain, Palindropos. Perhaps Just a thought. This has something to do with the hangover.
Am I defeatist? Am I nihilistic? In the reality that's presented before us, it's pretty hard not to be. But I believe Harry is bound for great things.
Okay, yes. Maybe it is just the hangover talking. Or some kind of joke you're playing on yourself instead of working on the case.
Nothing to look into with this, eh? Oh my god, Dramine, to make up for all the stuff I just used. Hooray! So I suppose if we'd gotten a good angle, it would have been possible to see her here.
The plain red tent stands by dispassionately. The tent looks old, but well maintained. In the darkness of the tent, a rolled-up sleeping bag, cooking utensils, some books, and a kerosene lamp. It reeks of cigarettes. Assorted soft covers, mostly pulp horror. A motor carriage lies buried in the snow on one cover. On another, a ghost airship. You also see a collection of radio enthusiast magazines.
See anything?
Rager Monthly, Journal of Material Science. More Technological Digest. One of the magazines doesn't have images on the cover. It's not a magazine, it's a leather notebook. You pocket the worn brown leather journal. A trusted friend left behind.
We should read this immediately, like right now.
Don't have to tell me twice. Well-loved journal with a brown leather cover and a brand name Schneller embossed on the back. Seems to have served as a loyal friend to a lonely traveler.
A thick journal. The cover is worn like someone used to carry it around in their back pocket. It's made of full-grain leather. The lower left corner of the back cover sports an embossed brand name, Schneller. Schneller is a stationery brand from Gottwald, beloved among architects and engineers. She's got good taste and must have taken whatever she recorded here seriously.
XP.
The journal falls open. About 2/3 of its ruled pages have been filled. The large cursive of someone who writes quickly and confidently.
I write quickly and not too confidently. My handwriting is atrocious.
Perhaps too confidently. Many phrases and even paragraphs have been crossed out, with tiny corrections scrawled above and in the margins. It's a mix of logistical notes, diagrams, and personal reflections, all dated.
It's good she left in a hurry. We could learn a lot from this.
Hard to tell exactly. It's mostly noted down in code. Looks like contact information, quantities, directions.
There could be useful information about local operations in those notes. We have a junior sergeant at my station who's good with codes. I can give this to her after we finish this.
Good. Get back to us in the morning.
Esoteric radio technology. The most recent ones probably pertain to the latitude compressor, sketches, calculations of distance and density. You make out a familiar spiral shape. Short, wry observations of people and places, probably a way to pass the time on the road. Also, what appears to be attempts to sort through some difficult decisions. There are a few passages with many questions in them. Staff issues, always tough on the leadership. You smell traces of betrayal. The first entry is from August 2nd of last year. It reads simply, I know my position is precarious. All I can do is make myself as useful as I can while looking for a way out. Remember, no one is indispensable.
Elected to lead the Hardy Boys last year, I guess. Wasn't on the job long.
That name isn't mentioned as far as you can tell.
What about this M? Could this be La Puta Madre? Here, March 9th and March 15th.
Great. M's peon is coming to town, no doubt to investigate the lynching. But also, I feel it in my gut to finally put a bullet in my head while I'm napping in my lorry or on a smoke break. Well, I won't stick around just to twist my own neck by constantly looking over my shoulder. Then again, isn't that what I've been doing ever since I got the call? The call? Did M call her personally? Why? Were you supposed to find her, even apart from the investigation then? On M's request? No, you wouldn't do something like this. This must be a mistake.
I wouldn't, but the old Harry might have.
You didn't follow through. You should have shot her in the head. The thought steadies your nerves. The journal stops shaking in your hand. Been holed up here for 3 days now. I'm used to being alone and all, but I don't know when I'll be able to leave, or if I'll be ratted out. They will rat me out, of course. I've made it a point to believe in the best in people, the boys, for example. But experience tells me...
Maybe you'll be pleasantly surprised one of these days.
Did M feel truly betrayed by me? I was feeling threatened. He'd have to know if he threatened people, they'd take measures to protect themselves. Even I know that. Economic measures, first of all. Gotta make a living, right? I can still hear his voice in the receiver. Taste the plastic. The entry ends abruptly. That must have been one hell of a conversation. Nothing on March 4th. March 5th, though. Well, that's bound to come back and bite me in the ass. I'm bad at this. Loyal to a fault. Except, but that's another matter entirely. You have no idea what she means. These are personal notes. Don't expect to understand all of it.
The most cryptic of notes. Ones that are only really printed in the brain.
The thick journal, bound in brown leather, is full of... The most recent entry is from today. It reads, even when I leave here, if I leave here alive, what's my next move? Staging a lynching is a crime, even if I'm not accused of murder on top of that. Forever on the run. Not really my idea of the open road. Man, I was really looking forward to winning.
It looks like she might have been... framed?
That would be a first, or a fourth. But who's counting, he thinks. Very rarely does anyone actually get framed.
I wouldn't go so far as to say that. We have other reasons to arrest her. Besides, I'm not sure her life as a fugitive is going to be much better than we does. Especially if she has problems with the Madre. No, I don't think you are. Ask someone in your precinct if you want to be sure. The head of a major Jamrock gang, specializing in drug
good, an
production
answer.
and trafficking. A very bad person. Could have been Titus. Then again,
Do I want to be asking people in my precinct if I'm a corrupt cop who works for a mob boss? On one hand, I could be and just out myself. On the other hand, everyone could be, and I could out myself as a rat.
Maybe there's a Hardy boy we've yet to meet who acted as his accomplice. Either way, we need to keep an eye on him. One thing is for certain. We have business back in the whirling in rags. Questions to ask. Let's be careful, though.
Tomorrow!
The tip she gave us about the tribunal was disturbing.
Oh, and almost another level. That was good for XP. Not for my brain, though. Or I guess my body. Brain's fine. Ruby said you were a notoriously corrupt cop. La puta madre's peon. That's why she was scared of you. When you get the chance, call your station to find out more. If you dare. And then go back to the whirling. Okay. Okay, I guess that's it for this cave. I can put my gun away. Oh man, I have over 100 real. That encyclopedia been doing work for me. Well, got some very important stuff out of the way, but I'm sorry to say that I am quite tired, and I think I'm going to have to end this session
The
early.
headless Falun rider. He could appear at any minute.
Please tell me we are not here to look for a headless man in a tracksuit riding a horse. Because there's no such thing.
No, I'm on my way to the whirling, but now that you mention
Don't
it...
listen to the lieutenant. He doesn't know anything.
There's nothing to wait for. We should get some rest. It's been a long day.
Yes, stay. What's a few more minutes going to hurt?
There, we waited. Nothing happened. Happy now? I know myths and legends are enticing, but in the end they're just stories for children, to teach them lessons or to frighten them. Let's go. It's very late. We should be resting already. Tomorrow will be another tough day.
But wait, what about the whirling? Titus is almost certainly gone by now.
Stop. Now. It is time.
For what?
Crisis. Death. You can feel it in your blue soul. Be prepared. Make sure you have your pepper box in your hand. Your fingers reflexively reach for the Villier's 9mm pistol in your pocket.
Then you'd better get ready. Whatever happens, I've got your back.
Maybe we retire for the night. It is pretty late, and I'm personally pretty tired. Sure, Harry is too. But Kim's got a room at the whirling. Hey Kim, you want to bunk for the night since it's apparently shit's gonna be going down in the morning? You have one good night's rest before we might get wiped off the face of the earth?
I'm afraid we don't have time for rest stops right now, officer. We should really get back to the whirling.
But it's late. Okay. Oh. Hey, ma'am, we found Ruby.
The old woman's. The buzz of electric lights blends. There's a gap where the name of that song should be. You should ask her about it right now.
Yes, I can't really sleep anymore. Only a few hours a night. It happens when you grow older.
Just take lots of naps.
My suggestion is don't. Don't grow any older than you already are. That's old enough. What's troubling your mind? A lullaby my mother used to sing. I sang it to my kids too. It's an old Samaran children's song. Surrender to the night.
That's kind of grim for a children's song, even if it is a lullaby.
Yes, it does.
Alright, well, nothing to talk about with her. How about you? You're also up pretty late.
Waves are beginning to die down.
But no new topics of discussion. Joyce, are you... What are you doing standing on a pier at 1 in the morning?
Back. Good. What can I help you with at this late hour? Matter of fact, I don't. I have a medical condition of my own. Nothing unusual, though. I'm old, you see.
So, wait, is it... Do you have a medical condition, or are you just like the old washerwoman?
Didn't she have another medical condition?
Very keen of you, officer. I do also have sordedic syndrome from overexposure to the pale. It makes me roost in the night, like an owl. I almost never sleep anymore. If I do, it's for an hour. 4 tops. Go ahead. Ask me some questions. They are the only cure.
Her smile is bitter. There is no cure.
Always ready to talk. Shouldn't have spent so much time in the pail there. Okay, yes, back across the bridge, gun in hand, then we'll save, and I think I'm gonna call it for the night. Oh boy. Got the gun. And now we sleep. Okay, well. Hooray, things are slowly but surely happening. We're getting closer and closer to discovering what the hell's going on and what the hell happened to Harry. Who is La Puta Madre? Maybe we'll find out next time. Okay, well, thank you very much for stopping by. I will see you again next week on Monday. Bit of a heads up. I might have to change the schedule around a bit again, because Mondays are starting to look pretty sketchy for me. But next week for sure, I should be able to stream on Monday. It's just the weeks following that might be more of an issue. Okay, well, yes. Fare thee well, good night, and I will see you next time.